Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel Ahsan CodeBytes. Today we're gonna discuss and learn web automation with Python and Selenium. Okay, so before starting, I would like to share the brief understanding about Python and Selenium for web automation frameworks. So, what is Python? Python is highly high level object oriented programming and scripting language. It is designed in a user friendly manner. Python uses simply English keywords, which is easy to interpret. It has less syntax complications than any other programming languages. Now, what is Selenium? Selenium is a tool to test your web application. You can do this in various ways. For instances, you can use it in multiple ways, like permit to tap on buttons, enter content in structures, skim your site to check whether everything is okay, and so on. Why we are using Python with Selenium instead of Java? There are lots of reasons to choose Python instead of Java. I would like to share some of key components why we are using Python instead of Java. Few points that favor Python over Java to use with Selenium is: Java programs tend to run slower compared to Python programs. Java uses traditional braces to start and end blocks, while Python uses indentations that keep your program and more advanced and executed in a proper and manner way. Java employs static typing, while Python is dynamically typed. Python is simpler and more compact compared to Java. That's the main key features why we are using Python over Java in Selenium. So let's begin with the scripting side. As you can see in my screen, I'm using Visual Studio Code for web automation. This is my file explorer, and I have already created a web automation folder that's already installed a Selenium and Python, all relevant libraries for executing the web automation framework. As you can see, that's a complete setup that I actually required for my web automation, and I will definitely create a new tutorial for a web automation, all relevant linked libraries and tools for integrating in Visual Studio Code that helps you to execute your web automation without any hassle or issue, So let's start. Before starting, I would like to share some things related to Visual Studio Code, as Visual Studio Code is the most popular tool for web development and software development, and it is also used for different product and project development activities, and it's supported on different languages like C#, PHP, Laravel, and Python, and web automations as well. So let's begin. I have already created a test automation file for ready to find out purposes. Like, let's start with the test automation 1.py file. This is my file that contains all the relevant information for web automation. Let's start from Selenium import WebDriver. I will explain each and every line before executing this file on web, so this will help out for you to understand and find out what's and each and every line, what do we need, why we are using this lines and codes to our web automation framework for beginner level. Okay, let's start. From Selenium import WebDriver. This is used for import WebDriver libraries for executing your WebDriver into Chrome. Import time. This is used for getting the time from browser to wait for the elements, or different uses for waiting the browser. Selenium.webdriver.common keys import keys. This is used for WebDriver common keys, like we have different common keys and different elements such likes, so we are using this for import keys. Print sample test case started. I am using this when I will execute my file. in a terminal, we just do a terminal. So this will show you that your test case is executed, and now you can see your browser to activate and show your web automation framework is working fine or not. Driver equals to webdriver.com. This is my executable path where I have reported and placed my WebDriver. Okay, I am using two more WebDriver Firefox and you can use both of it in your web automation file, but I am using a WebDriver executable path. It is an excellent basically file explorer to execute your web automation. Driver.maximize windows. This is your this driver command is used for maximize your Windows screen after execution. Okay, I am hitting www.google.com, that is driver.cat https www.google.com. Navigating to the URL. Okay, identify the Google search text box and enter the value. Driver.find underscore element by name. You can find elements with different categories like by underscore, class name, XPath, CSS selector, and so on. I am using by name q.sendkeys.python.org. Now, how I can identify the elements from for WebDriver? Let's start. You can identify your element from web browser. So let's start. How to find the elements from browser? Right click on search bar where you have to find out what you actually need, the element name. Inspect. As you can see, the elements list of from def tool. This is your name, element name, where I'm using in my file. As you can see, Q. And send keys. I have send keys in a search browser, that is python.org. I'm using time.sleep for waiting the browser to cover all the elements in a web browser page. Now I'm using a click function for Google search button. Driver.find element by name btnk.send enter keys.enter. This is using for clicking on. I'm showing you the button name, that is enter. This is using for click on enter against your search python.org. Again, I'm using time.sleep for waiting all the elements should be loaded within the time frame. Now I'm using URL underscore click param for creating a new driver name, that is driver.find element by CSS selector. This is the complete CSS selector that you can identify from web page, and I'm using send.keys.enter for clicking purposes. Driver.close. This is using for closing your driver, and after all the executions of these lines, the terminal show you the sample test case successfully completed or not. Now let's begin. As you can see, run code. Okay, sample test case started. As you can see, the WebDriver is loaded successfully. Python.org search bar is successfully entered, and now you can see the search bar. After that, as you can see completely, the overall completion of this browser is successfully completed without any hassle. This is the complete overview and briefing about web automation for any type of automation framework, and you can continue and you can develop your automation web browser for any need and any type of necessity that you want. Thank you for your time, and keep supporting us, and do subscribe my channel for more automation and Python related videos. Thank you.